Josiah thought he was fighting for God. But what he didn't know was Necho, the one he had assumed that he was an enemy. Necho wasn't fighting Judah. Necho wasn't the enemy. But Josiah assumed that Necho was the enemy. Be careful of getting into wrong battles, uninvited battles, because of your assumptions. It can kill you and it can end your life. So, can you do me a favor? Just hold the hand next to you. Hold the hand next to you and say, avoid wrong battles. Tell the hand again, avoid wrong battles. So, if let's do it the way like we did it. Avoid wrong battles. It will make you grow and fulfill your destiny. Okay, so whilst growing up, I grew up. So whilst you get, if you're on your script, on your Bible, go to 2 Chronicles chapter 35 verses 20, and we're going to read that, and then we'll read 2 Kings 23 and 25. And in case you don't know where 2 Chronicles is, it's after Matthew. So after Matthew, then you go to 2 Chronicles, Matthew, 2 Chronicles, then you go to the book of Nehemiah. It will surprise you that some of you are looking for Matthew. Tell somebody, I suspect you. I suspect all of you. It means you've not been opening. You know, mobile phones and tablets have come to really help us. If we are to do a Bible drill now, you will see what will happen here today. Especially focusing on Chronicles and Zephaniah, you will see what will happen here today. Obadiah, tell somebody, I suspect you. I suspect you. Okay, so anyway, look for 2 Chronicles, right? Okay, so whilst getting yourself ready, let me briefly share the story. Whilst getting yourself ready, so I grew up in Tafo, and I used to so UP University Primary. I began off at Kent International. Then I had an opportunity at University Primary. So from Tafo, if you know Kumasi very well, from Tafo to UP, you know, having to connect by car and make my way along with my brothers, it was quite a bit of a challenge. So what our parents did was they got a taxi driver who every morning would come and pick us, come and drop us, then again. So we got other colleagues who live around Tafo to join us. So there were 5 of us every morning. Taxi driver will come and pick us, drop us, and then take us back. So something happened very, very unusually one day, and I remember it. You know, there are some moments they get imprinted in your memory. So we got to Tafo, and if you know Tafo very well, we got to Tafo Market. If you know Tafo Market very well, the name of our taxi driver was called Richard. Say Richard. Oh, repeat after me, Richard. So Richard was the name of our taxi driver. So Richard was driving us, and then, man of God, we go to Tafo Market, Tafo Jum. So when we got there, two gentlemen that we didn't know from Adom were fighting. You know, they were fighting, throwing blows, fighting, terrible fight. Then somewhere, somehow, Richard thought he would be the peacemaker. So Richard packed, he left us in the car, 5 young children, and then Richard said to us, I'm going to make peace. Stay in the car and wait for me. Follow the story carefully. We're like, what for Uncle Richard? That's none of your problem. There are many people, you don't even know why they are fighting. Why are you going to be the peace? He said, no. Let me go and stop the fight. Blessed are the peacemakers. So Richard got there, hey, you stop. And then in the midst of, hey, you stop, one of them threw a blow. And I remember it to date. And it landed on Richard's left eye. So immediately there was blood everywhere. And to cut a long story short, Richard lost a left eye in his attempt to separate them. Did you hear what I said? Oh, did you hear what I said? So to date, Richard always wears a dark spectacle. The last time I met him, so for me, you can imagine, young kid, maybe 13, 12, it painted an image. It has forever remained in my memory. So anytime I meet Richard, I said, Richard, it is because you sought to go and make peace for an uninvited battle. Nobody invited you into this battle. That has brought you your your lasting damage. Am I speaking to somebody? Am I speaking to somebody? And I pray that this morning God will give you the discernment to run away from uninvited battles. Okay, so let's go. Mindful of time. Let's read. Come with me. Let's read it together. And I prefer to go. Next slide. Go. I prefer for us to, in giving reference to God, let's rise up and read the scripture together. Is that okay? So rather than, to make it easy, let's read it together. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. After all this, when Josiah had set the temple in order, Necho, king of Egypt, I highlighted it for a reason. Necho who? Necho who? Some of you today will be the first time you're hearing some of these names. You probably not heard or read about them. Today you hear some names and they are in the Bible. Okay, so let's go. Necho, let's go, went up at Kakimish. Where? Okay, on the Ephraim. Let's go. And marched out to meet him in battle. But Necho sent messengers to him saying, what quarrel? What quarrel? What business, king of Judah, between you and me? Stay out. Tell somebody, stay out. Stay out. No, tell somebody, stay out. This is Necho pleading that offer. Uncle, stay out. This is none of your business. Stay out. Here the king's response. Here the king's. He says, it is not you that I am attacking at this time, but who? Carry on. God has told me to hurry. So stop opposing God. Who is with me? Oh, he will destroy you. Okay? Josiah will not, but to engage, he would. Okay? To what Necho had said at God's command. But went to fight him on the plain of Megiddo. Archers shot Josiah. Archers did what? And he told his officers, I am. So they took him, put him, and where? Oh, come on, where he was. And all, because if you die a foolish death, we'll cry for you, but we'll carry on. Take your seat. Let's read this together. 2 Kings chapter 25. We only do the first bit. Mindful of time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Neither, I'm not feeling you. Neither was a king like him who, as he did, with all his heart and with all his soul and with all his strength, in accordance with all the laws of Moses. By the way, trivia number 1, some of you did not know this. David was a great king, but before David there was a man by name Josiah. That the Bible concluded that neither before nor after. David was a great king, but most people don't know Josiah. That this gentleman called Josiah, there was none like him who turned an entire generation, their heart before God. He came on the throne at the age of 8. He ruled for 31 years. One of the greatest kings who lived on the face of the earth. Next. So let me begin off by this. History colleagues here might have heard of this. There was a battle that happened in 1812. In the year 1812. None of us here was born, but at least historians have pieced together what happened. So this battle was between the United Kingdom and the USA way back in 1812. So they were fighting. There were so many casualties. Over 23,000 people died. More like in our day what is happening to Ukraine and Russia. A lot of casualties. I mean, only God knows how many people have really died because of this Russia-Ukraine war. However, with this battle, the catch here is they decided, let's come to a peace treaty. Let's come to an agreement. So on January 8, 1815, they signed a peace treaty, but they signed it all the way in Belgium. You can imagine, we're talking of 1812. There were no mobile phones. There were no communication gadgets. So, so when they signed the peace treaty, the idea was that they were going to communicate it to the Americans that we've ended the war. However, between signing the peace treaty to say we've stopped fighting and the information getting to the two parties, right, it took about 2 weeks. And between that 2 weeks, hundreds of men died needlessly. Is somebody here with me? What happened? How many men died? Okay, so at least you are following me. So go, next. So go, that's Josiah. So some Bibles have tried to paint who Josiah is. So that's the closest description you can find of Josiah. So that's a young man. At the age of 8, he came to the throne. Some interesting facts about him. He became a king at the age of 8, right? He came on the throne via prophecy. 1 Kings chapter 13, there was a prophecy about him that he will come on the throne and he will destroy altars. Prior to him, there were several who had come and they had gone into idol worship. He burned all idols in the house and in the kingdom. Powerful king. He wrecked when he came to the throne. One of their most powerful idols was by name Tophet, right? Tophet was this sacrifice where parents would sacrifice their children to false god, and it was very popular before his reign. And then lastly, he fought the next generation. But here comes my first message. Yet the best of men can sometimes take a wrong fatal turn and end their life. And I began with the story of Richard. Richard had no business to lose his left eye, but because he got himself into a wrong battle. Is somebody here with me? Is somebody here with me? So have your pen now. Let's go. Point number one. Okay, so if you write it down, write this down. Not every battle is from the enemy. Tell someone, not every battle. Oh, come on, tell someone, not every battle is from the enemy. Right? Look, sometimes the enemy seeks to turn your blessings, he seeks to turn them into an unnecessary battle for you. Sometimes, like Josiah, look, Josiah was doing extremely well. Josiah was blessed. Josiah was leading a congregation, an entire people. He had brought them to God. Yet, what the enemy did was he turned that particular blessing into an unnecessary battle. How? A stranger was passing through, and Josiah said, I feel threatened by you, so let me fight you. And through that, he lost his life and then he died. Not every battle is from the enemy. You need to discern which battles are from the enemy, which battles are worth fighting, which battles does not even require your time, which battles does not require your attention, and walk away. Is somebody here with me? Tell someone, not every battle requires your attention. Hey, are you here with me? Okay, so number one. Number two, mindful of time. Number two, avoid the temptation of other pursuits. And write this thing, and I want to ponder over this. Not everything threatening is an enemy. Not all threats are hostile. Tell someone, not all threats are hostile. There are some threats, they are actually blessings in disguise, meant to fight for you. Hear the words of Necho. Necho said, I may look like an enemy, but this time around, God has sent me to fight for you, Josiah. So stop fighting me. Stop seeing me as an enemy. How many Nechos have God brought into your life who look like enemies? Who look like, it looks threatening, and yet you've walked away from them simply because they look like a Necho. One day, myself and my wife were looking for a bunch of keys. And you know where you have all your keys on one big, every key was on there. And Titi, we are in the car, we couldn't find the key, and it had every key, our house key, our car keys. We searched everywhere, we couldn't find it. Then we thought, we just have to start the process of cutting new keys all over. And we didn't even know where to begin from. Then in the midst of that confusion, not knowing what to do. Then our young girl, our little girl was about 5 years. Can you imagine? And then she sat in the car, and then the keys were hidden under the driver's seat. And then she says, Mommy, I can see the keys. And then we're like, where are the keys? Where are the keys? She said, under the chair. We looked around and we found the keys. And for a brief moment, I looked at Vicky's face. Vicky looked at my face. I looked at their face, and we're like, wow. So God can speak through Necho as well. And I'm going to talk about Necho. Necho is a kind of person or place or individual who looks nothing like what you expect. So Necho, when you remember when we read it, it said Necho, right? So Necho served the god of Egypt. Necho served the Egyptian god. They may not necessarily even serve your God. Have you been at that place where one day, right, a madman, you meet a madman, and says, hey, man, take here. Have you met someone before? A madman. Sometimes God can speak through Necho. You need to be discerning enough to realize that not every Necho is an enemy. Tell somebody, not every Necho is an enemy. Right? Okay, so avoid the temptations of other persons, right? So sometimes, like I said, yet sometimes the enemy seeks to turn our blessings into battles. The king was doing extremely well, but the king felt, I still need to prove a point, and therefore I'm going to fight him. And that was the end of his life. Number three. Okay, so this is very dear to me. How many of you have gotten into trouble based on assumptions? Have you been there before? Have you gotten into trouble based on assumptions? Lift up your hands. Oh, be honest with me. How many of you have gotten into trouble because I assumed? Have you been there before? Oh, come on. Or else next time I'll preach about honesty in this house. How many of us have gotten into trouble because you assumed? Lift up your hands. And how did it feel when later what you assumed wasn't right? How did it feel? Oh, come on, be honest with me. Very bad, because I assume this thing, I assume, or no one have, and then later it turned out to be he didn't even know about it. Don't fight wrong battles based on assumptions. Hold a hand and say, my brother. Hold a hand and say, my brother, my sister. Don't fight wrong battles based on assumptions. Okay, so let's break it down. You know what Josiah did? Josiah is saying, Josiah thought he was fighting for God. So I will fight Necho. I will fight for God. So but my role is to fight for God. So even when Necho comes my way, I will fight for God. But what he didn't know was Necho, the one he had assumed that he was an enemy. Necho wasn't fighting Judah. Necho wasn't the enemy. But Josiah assumed that Necho was the enemy. What Necho was fighting was Necho was fighting was he was going to fight against Carchemish, who was the real enemy. But Josiah assumed that Necho was the enemy. So Necho even begged him. If you remember what we read, he said, verses 20, I didn't come to fight you. He begged him. He said, this is not, I didn't come to fight you. So please. He says no. He assumed that Necho was the enemy. Be careful of getting into wrong battles, uninvited battles, because of your assumptions. It can kill you and it can end your life. And it can deny you what God has for you. Did you hear that? So hold hand and say, number 3, don't fight wrong battles based on assumptions. Is that okay? Number 4. The name Necho means lame. How many of us here are Kotoko fans? Hands up, just be honest with me. If you're a Kotoko fan, Asante Kotoko say yeah. Okay. So Asante Kotoko say yeah. Okay. One day, Kwabi Birem United. This was in the in the early 2000s. Kwabi Brem United, they met Kotoko and they shipped them like 4-0. And then one of the chief Kotoko fans said, Kwabi Brem United, if a team will beat Kotoko, it should never be Kwabi Brem United. Those of you who are into football, you remember when Christina Chu of blessed memory, when Christina Chu died, one of the tournaments went to whether Angola or I forgot one of the tournaments. Equatorial Guinea met Ghana, and they showed us Pepe, Equatorial Guinea, and the pain was if a team will beat Ghana, it should be Nigeria. I lie. I know that's why I'm looking at you. I lie. If Nigeria beats Ghana, it's okay, but if Equatorial Guinea or one of these small islands, Comoros, they meet Almighty Ghana, they beat us 4-0. You see, the beating does not hurt than to think that a team like Comoros, Maza, the day Necho will meet you, the day you underestimate Necho and they meet you on the battlefield and they strip you bare, you smell pepper. Necho means lame, and by that Josiah thought, if anything can kill me, if anybody can stand in front of me and kill me or fight me, Necho, this weak guy, this lame guy, he cannot. So my message is, Necho might have been lame in Joshua's eyes, yet he was strong enough to kill him. Be careful for assuming, this one, this one cannot, and then you assume, get yourself in unnecessary battle, and before you realize, the Necho you underestimated will flatten you. What Necho in your life? Look at the Nechos. Look at the Nechos at present hanging around in your life. And let me bring it home. So some of the Nechos could be, can I get your phone? Some of the Nechos I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, are some WhatsApp groups you are part of. Some of the Nechos are some things you've been watching on your phone. Like even people who get into betting, it starts with one small bet here and there. People who get addicted into pornography, it starts one small watch here and there. I bet in me. And then first bet, you win 10,000 Ghana, I'll go again. Nobody thought, by the way, no addicted or serial better, right? If it's better or bettest or whatever, started off like that. They all started as unassuming Nechos. Betting, tough yakwa. Be careful the Nechos you entertain and underestimate. Is somebody here with me? Okay, let's wrap up. Megiddo. So he went to fight Necho in the valley of Megiddo. By the way, take your time and research about Megiddo. Megiddo in the Bible has traditionally been a place where God has given victory. Solomon had victory, Joshua had victory, David had victory. All the champions at the valley of Megiddo, they experienced great victory from God. So Josiah is thinking, there are some things they are giving. Whether you work for it or you don't work for it, you tend to take them for granted. When victory is assured. In your mind, you think, so even if I put in the least effort, I'll be okay. So in Josiah's mind, he's thinking, whether I put in the effort or not, Megiddo in the valley of Megiddo, God is gone ahead of me. So I say, and can you hold a hand? Can you hold it and say, avoid, hold the hand and tell the hand, avoid an entitlement to the mercies of God. Look, the fact that I like the way you are laughing. Let's do that. Tell someone, avoid an entitlement to the mercies of God. So Josiah is thinking, look, the least that will happen to me is all my grandfathers, and go through, check their lineage. Emoji, all of them experienced great victories at the valley of Megiddo. There was none that failed in Megiddo. So Josiah is thinking, Solomon fortified. In fact, Joshua defeated it. Solomon fortified it. Whoever held the control is traffickers. So look, Josiah felt, if nothing at all, at Megiddo, it's the done deal. Yet, at the same Megiddo, they shot him. Pa! Said, take me home. And when he went, he died. What is it? What is it of God that you've taken for granted? Can you hold the hand and then nudge the hand and say, what is it of God that you've taken for granted? So could it be that you're one of the ushers, one of the media colleagues, one of the gifted keyboardists in the house, one of the gifted protocol. And then for a brief moment, it enters your coconut that even if I don't come today, they will experience me. Tell somebody, I suspect you. Oh, the day I'll not come to check, they will see me. The day I will see you. Be careful about the entitlement of God's mercy. Whilst you are messing around, you know what's happening? Whilst you are messing around, you know, like how we do it in football. You know how we do it in football. Somebody's prayer is that, Lord, also count me worthy. So as you are messing, somebody's prayer is that, Father. So look, this thing, don't take it for granted. The calling, the grace, the gifting, everything is given you. Don't take it for granted. Don't think that is you are entitled to it. The gifting is mine. Avoid it. So let's wrap it up. My time is up. Last slide. And then I want to do how I wish. Okay, 4 minutes. Let's touch on this. Let's touch on this. Let's touch on this. Let's touch on this. Between 1st and 2nd Chronicles, please listen to me carefully. Between 1st and 2nd Chronicles, there are 19 kings. How many kings? Oh, come on. How many kings? How many kings? How many kings? How many kings? Okay. Woman of God, here comes the interesting bit. Out of the 19, 11 were ungodly. How many were ungodly? How many were ungodly? Oh, how many were ungodly? Whereas 8 were godly. So look at the number. 11 were ungodly, 8 were godly. All the 8 who were godly, they didn't finish the assignment. Did you hear that? What did I say? Oh, come on. What did I say? What did I say? Let's flip it. The 11 ungodly ones, vice versa, almost all of them finish the assignments. Ladies and gentlemen, being godly is not enough from being distracted from the tricks of the enemy. You can be godly like Josiah, yet be heavily distracted, fight in a wrong battle, and die. So think about it carefully. Emoji, the 11 were ungodly. Almost all of them finished the assignment. Go, next slide, next slide. Mindful of time. Let me show you something. So let's look at some of their names. Look at it. Next slide, next slide, next slide. Go. Go. So, look. No, stay there. Please go back, go back. Let's look at some of the names that you've probably heard of. So, look at King Asa. He reigned for 41 years. He got distracted by relying on the king of Syria to provide military security. He died. King Jehoshaphat ruled for 25 years. He failed by partnering with ungodly people. You know what? He died. King Joash ruled for 40 years. He ended up his reign by abandoning godly biblical advice. You know what? He died. This is the most common one. Uzziah. He reigned for 52 years. Ended his reign by insisting on entering the temple. I will enter the temple. In all of this, and I can go on and on, the common denominator is they all got distracted, fought in wrong battles, and they all died. I want to zoom in. So everything I've talked about, right? Avoid wrong battles. I want to zoom in and say, be careful of distractions. Hold on. It tells them, be careful of distractions. Okay, so let's end it. So I call them the distracted rulers. 8 of them. And all of them were godly. You can be godly and be heavily distracted. In fact, I'm of the opinion that the enemy loves to distract the godly. So, go. I've talked about this. At times, God will place in individuals and locations you overlook. Right? Necho, be careful. God can speak through a Necho. Be careful. Go. A Necho is able to hear from God. Don't fight God. I've talked about it. Go. I want to end with. Go. God still speaks in Egypt. Go to the very last slide, and that's where I want us to end. The very last one. Okay. So, can I please leave you with these nuggets? It's a summary of everything we've talked about. Right? Number 1. Not every battle is for you. You need to discern which battle is worth or God wants you in there. There are some battles, run away from your life. Run away and say, look, there's nothing got to do with me. Number 2, not every threat, not all threats are hostile. Sometimes there might be a Necho who may look like a threat, but in essence, they are blessings in disguise. Pray for discernment to distinguish what is a hostile threat and what is a friendly threat. So Joshua gets to the wall of Jericho and says to the man, are you for us or against us? He looked like a threat, but in essence, he was an angel who had been sent from the Lord. How many of these have we walked away because they look like threats? Number 4, Necho too can hear from God. Tell somebody, Necho too can hear from God. Have you met a madman who looks at you in the eye and say, hey, don't pass there. Don't pass there. Because if you pass there, something will happen to you. Years ago, whilst at UP, Botanical Gardens, we used to go there and pray whilst we were students at UP. We were still very young. One Saturday, we rallied ourselves, so we were going to pray. There were about 20 of us. On our way that day, then the university students will come in, and some of them who were heavy into drugs, they also come in and do foolish things there. So one day, about 20 of us, as we were going, we met one of them who was smoking his thing heavily. He was high. And he looked at us and said, hey. And Grandma going, hey, where are you going? We said, we're going to pray. Somebody heavy on drugs and all kinds of foolishness. Say, Miss Remo and Mamunko, don't go. Namokwa omba mobone. In other words, if you go, they will do evil to you. Turn back and go. We contemplated. Is he setting us up? Then I remember one of us, Seth said, what if God is speaking through this man? Did you hear that? One of them said, what if God is speaking through Necho? Let's listen to the madman. He may be smoking, but sometimes God can speak through mediums and places you least expect. Necho can hear from God too. Hold the hand, say, Necho can hear from God too. Sometimes God can speak in ways it could be a little kid, a little child who can look at you and say to your word, I will unlock your key to your destination. Number 3, you can be as great as Necho, as Josiah, but take on one wrong battle and you can lose your life. Can you imagine? He died at 31. Can you imagine what he would have accomplished if he lived longer. Can you imagine what we would have done? Be careful. Discern, or the arrows will kill you. They are arrows of fatigue, arrows of loneliness, arrows of depression, arrows of unforgiveness, arrows of offense, arrows of hate, looking to strike you. Josiah disguised himself so that he could fight. Stray arrows have a way of looking for people who disguise themselves. They are stray arrows. When people disguise themselves, some way, somehow, stray arrows are able to locate them. Discern. Lastly, the people will mourn our premature death because they are unfinished works. For the sake of the generation, for the sake of the assignment, please discern and choose your battles carefully. Please rise up.